Let us start our work on strength of material laboratories. Today I will show you the Faker's hardness test first, along with this video as well as theory, and I will discuss the matter. Next, I'll go through different manuals made by different universities over strength of materials in different time, which I have. It will be better for you to have a look of about the theories and everything, which is more or less same, but there is some differences and some important questions also there in between it. Okay, that is now this is our Faker's hardness testing machine. There is lot of similarity in with the others Rockwell and Brinell hardness testing here. Here we have the same screw jack system for lifting up and down of the platform. And here, this is the platform where you are supposed to keep your workpiece for hardening itself. Now, there are other equipments here. There is a magnifying glass here. This is the magnifying glass which makes 10 times magnification. And there is another magnifying glass inside the machine which totally magnify the impression and show in on the table itself. And the indenters are fixed here in the right side plunger, and it can be moved clockwise by a clockwise rotation from the indenter can be brought over the workpiece. And and this is a time setting device which set the time of engagement of the indenter inside the work itself. And this is the switch off and on switch, and this is the cable plug itself, because it is a power running, it's a power running machines. In this side we have the adjustment of load adjustment knob here. Here we can start from the load 5 kg, next 10, 20, 30, and 60 kg, 50 kg. So 5 to 50 kg is the different loads we can set on Faker's hardness testing machine. Let us start it again. This is the platform, this is the platform over which we will place the our workpiece. This is a screw jack system. By rotating this handle clockwise and anti-clockwise, you can lift. You can lift when this clock is if we rotate the anti-clockwise direction, and you can this platform will down when you rotate this thing in clockwise direction. This is supposed to be covered by this uh, rubber bellows to protect it from dust, but unfortunately, it is torn out now. Now this is the indenter holding device here. Here an indenter is holding, it is fixed over it. This is the magnifying glass which is fixed by rotation and which magnifies 1 is to 10 the impression of the rock itself. And what that window inside there is another magnifying glass. Altogether it will have 1 is to 100 times magnification of the impression itself, which is shown in the window here, there, and can be measured over the scale kept inside the window itself. This side we have a time actuating device with time for holding the indenter inside the workpiece itself. And this is the message on switch, and this is the power plug, because Brinell hardness is power driven machine. And on the other side of the machine, we have the knob for load actuation. We have around 5 different loads we can set over it. One is 5 kg, then next it is 10, 20, 30, and altogether 50. These different loads are being selected for your experience, and it can be set your job can be set accordingly. Let us show it again. This is the base and foundation of the machine over which the machine is situated. This is just fixed and kept on the bed. Not it is not fixed with the bed itself, and it should be perfectly horizontal with the bed itself. This is, I've told you, the the platform lifting device, the screwdriver for platform lifting, and in front of it, this is the indenter here. It is the only one indenter we are using, that is diamond tip indenter, and there is one magnifying glass fixed over here, and whole setup is indexed in like such a way that by moving the handle, you can move it over the workpiece itself. Here is the window which is having the impression of my camera of my mobile, which will show you the size of the impression on magnified basis 1:100 magnifications. And you see at the left side of the machine, we are having knob which where the we can set the time over up to which a your your unit will engage to your workpiece. Up to 30 seconds you can set it over here. This is the machine on off switch, and this is the power cord. And this is the load actuating device. This is the 5 different loads we can set over it. One is 5 in by rotation. It is 10, 20, 30, and 50. This is the load, 5 different loads we can set as per our requirement itself. I am just moving it in to show you one thing. Over the rod, this is the jobs we are fixed. This is the workpiece, or you can say the test piece, with which we will make the testing here. This one is uh, copper copper test piece. This is steel, and this is aluminum itself. This test piece are we have to keep over here and just place it over it, not place over it, and not fixing by any means. And uh, here, this is the indenter itself. If we rotate this indexing rod device by this rod, the indenter will come in front of the machine itself, and by actuating the switch, which is not shown here, is over the machine. Uh, this machine where this indenter will engage to the work itself, and after the indentation, the time period of indentation is can be fixed with the knob at the left side of the machine, and amount of load to be applied to the rod itself is fixed over this knob the right of this machine, which have 5 different loads which we have to select and apply. And let us move. And this is the welding device. This is the dwelling. What is shown here is the dwell, means how much time the your indenter will be engaged to the work itself. It is given on this. It is shown here. When it is when is lighting, this red point means this indenter is indenting the workpiece, and it is holding the indenter to the workpiece itself. When it is released, this red light will be off, and green light will on again. Here we have to start the machine, start and stop the machine by switching on this green light only. After you set the job over the platform, lift the platform up to the indenter itself. Indenter is here. If you can draw this handle here, indenter will come over the workpiece, and you have to move the workpiece over the platform up to the indenter, but we will not set it securely to the indenter itself. We will place the distance between the indenter and the workpiece equal to 1 equal to a thickness of one piece of paper. This has been done because if we engage this lot material too much to the indenter, then after the job is released, indenter will we may draw the material with itself along with its during this movement. So you will keep a minimum clearance between the indenter and as well as the workpiece itself. Just I'm showing you again. And the beginning. Uh, this is the position where it is more readily visible. This is the green switch. If we switch it on, the machine will start. This indenter will engage with the workpiece itself, and it will remain in engaged position up to the dwell period, which is set on the left side of the machine. It's left side of the machine itself. And after the real period is over, this red light will be off, and machine light will glow, and machine indenter will release from the workpiece itself. Then what shall we do? It will move this chuck downward rightwards, I mean clockwise, by means of this handle, so that indenter moves away and this magnifying glass comes directly over the workpiece itself. You may require it may so require that you can slightly move the workpiece over the workpiece, but generally it is not necessary. Or you can lift the workpiece slightly higher or lower to make the focusing better better than the normal cases. But this is the job, this is the requirement which you can make according to your requirement. And there will be these three jobs. Aluminium should be placed here, steel should be placed here and take check, and copper will be placed here and check. But there is one serious problem here. How much load you have to apply, it's not clearly given in the machine or in the manual or anywhere else, because you have to fix it by trial and error method. You will may apply higher load to get a better vision of the indent itself, and you will measure the size of the indent. It will be there is only one indenter is available here, that is a diamond pyramid indent, which will make a rhombus like impression over the workpiece itself. And there is a scale here of the workpiece I am showing you. This is the way we are moving. Next, this is the lens is plotted over the material itself. It will give you 1:10 type magnification, and this is the window where you will get the impression impression of the workpiece will be visible in this window. And these are the scales, these straight lines available over it, which will give you a distance of 1 millimeter. There is also a vernier scale here in this side, which will be governed by a vernier kept on this right side of the machine, which is not shown in this diagram itself. So here we'll get a rhombus shape impression like this, and you will measure the diagonal distance of between the diagonals itself. If the impression is not very clear, you will try to make it as close as possible. So the diagonal distance will be this one and that one, and the average of them will give you the required depth of hardness, required record deep distance, which will be tallied with the Rockwell's in the Vickers pyramid testing machine. Let us move on another. This is the this is the one type of movement switch which will control the scale, which will control the movement of the scale from left and right of the machine itself. And this will set the longer lines on one side of the machine, one side of the impression, and take the reading from the other side. And this is the doubling period machine. This is the this is the scale over which you can set the dialing period. A maximum 30 seconds you can set over it. Generally, we do it around 20 to 25 seconds of dialing time. Means this is the amount of time the 30 second or 20 second will this indenter will be engaged in the workpiece and give you correct and specific impression about the workpiece itself. And this is the power cord. It is a power driven machine. This is the machine on off switch, and there is a device where you can house the fuse. This is the knob where we are actuating the load itself. You see, there is a load number equal to 5 is given here. And there will be a position here above this light is not clearly visible, up to which if you press the first 5, it will give you the load, indenter load equal to 5 itself. Next, you have to address the indenter accordingly. After the load, if you move it, it will give you 10, then 20, again 30, again if you move it is the maximum 50. This is given here, and there is a line here up to which you have to set this weights itself. Okay, let us go to the theories of the machine itself. Now, this is the manual which I have given you in third year in Vickers hardness testing machine itself. I hope you still possess it, or if not, I will give you afterwards. Here, what we have, the machine is called, I've told you, the Vickers hardness testing machine itself. The model name of the model is VM50. It is a motorized or power driven hardness tester. While you know our both Brinell as well as Rockwell machine don't require any power, only manually operated and manually started and stopped. But here we have a limited manual operation, but most important, that is the indenting operation, is being done by power itself. There is with it that automatic loading and unloading cycle itself. It is follows a cycle which starts first of all load the indenter to the job, unload the indenter job, and go back to the original position, and again it's operated, then again will start it is started again. A regular pyramid with square base and smooth off point made of diamond is pressed in the metal to test under a certain light. Here you have to mention one thing very clear. Here, unlike your Rockwell and Brinell hardness testing machine, we don't have a multiple different type of indenter. We have only one indenter, that is a diamond tipped machine, which is have a just one second, which is having a which is having a square base and smooth point made diamond, and is pressed. This diamond is pressed in the metal to be tested under a certain particular load. The produced impression is projected to the focusing front scheme. Now, here, like Brinell, you can't move the workpiece out and take the impression itself by your own microscope or some other means. Or in case of Rockwell, you are measuring the impression by means of the dial gauge set in the machine itself. But here, you cannot do any such thing. It's totally different type of measuring the impression itself. Here, like Brinell and Rockwell, we are also measuring impression. While in Brinell, you are measuring the diameter of the impression, while Rockwell, you are measuring the depth of the impression. And while Vickers here, you know, you have to we have to create a rhombus like impression over the workpiece, because the size of the pyramid is more or less a square and a smooth point made. facing is pointed, and it is square itself. And so you'll get a more or less square type impression or a rhombus type impression about the workpiece itself, which will be visible into front of the uh, front door window, where the impression will be visible. And this front of the window also possess two scales. One is longitudinal, and left and right you can move by means of the knob itself, and another is a screw gauge. There is a uh, small vernier scale is provided over the surface of the machine itself, which we can move left and right to adjust the size of the machine, so that you can have the impression at least up to 3 digits of accuracy. Where because this vernier which we have fixed over this machine has a countdown around 0.001 millimeter, while this count about 0.001 millimeter. So you can check up to the less 0.001 millimeter of the workpiece itself. So this Rockwell hardness machine is much accurate than any of the other two machines, and you will give them almost accurate result for your test piece or workpiece. Here is also using certain test pieces itself. Not the material is not directly used, because it's also a destructive test. So a test piece made by the same union under the same treatment of your machine member which you want to check. You have to create this member and use it to know the hardness of the machine by Rockwell itself. As there is only one impression, there is no chart or scale is given for the Rockwell hardness testing machine. Everywhere, for every material, you have to use this uh, diamond shape impression itself. And the load can be varied. You see, minimum load is 5 and maximum load is 50, and 5, 10, 15, 30, 50. This is the range you can take. You cannot load it any load to do any load in between them, in between this load itself. And how will you measure the decide of the load is a different thing, that you have to drive by yourself by taking impression a number of times over the workpiece, so that you can workpiece you have to increase the load, so that the impression of the workpiece is clearly visible and easily measurable. That is the job of a during the local transient testing machine. The machine will start by pushing the start switch, which is green, which will show you a green light as if the machine is running. Then after the engagement, the red light or dual light is started, and it will be engaged in the workpiece as long as the time set on the time settings dwelling time setting device on the left side of the machine itself. Maximum you can set up to 30 seconds. Within this moment, you have to make the hardness and get the impression and measure it by means of your optical microscope itself. So this method especially applies to small, hard, and thin specimens, as well as determining the hardness of cases in case of hardened steel. So here, generally, this type of machine is used always for harder tools, harder machineries, because we are using the hardest metal in the world, that is the diamond, in for as your impression, and there is no other choice for any other workpiece. So same impression will go, and this method applied to small, hard, and thin specimens. Specimens are particularly thin, because your depth of impression is not required. You are only the size of the impression is required, and depth of this impression is here. It is not very more, not much, because the height of the diamond tip is not very high. So it is supposed to be used for thin specimens where you can measure this, where you can measure the hardness. Thin specimen can be directly checked, but it should be such that where at the point of checking of the hardness by this indenter, that will not create any quality problem of the machine itself. I mean the material quality problem of the material itself. And in case of case hardened steel or other harder type steel are generally, you can measure the hardness of the surface by means of the Vickers pyramid case. Now, what is the description of the machine that I've shown you? I've just give you in the impression itself. The matter is, the body of the machine is closed by cover. We have seen that machine is totally closed. What is the inside the machine is not visible to us. Inside the machine, there is a set of loads which can be applied one after the another, or sometimes what applied together, so that you can get maximum 50 kg of load at the indenter. And this load is created over the indenter by means of the lever mechanism. And you can change the load by change the load by one after another, applying one, two, three, four, five loads over it. And you can reduce the load by disengaging one of them, one then one by one. But you cannot load it directly from 50 to 5 kg, or from 5 to 50 kg. You have to move the knob and slowly, by either applying one after the one another that weight, or releasing the effect of one or another other weights. So you cannot directly go from 50 to 5 or from 5 to 50. You have to move all the intermediate steps, then you will go to the final dimension, maybe final, maybe maximum, final, maybe minimum. Here you cannot load more than 50, and you cannot load less than 5 kg of 5 kg of working load itself. So what the body I've just told you, it is covered, and machine is housed or kept over a concrete foundation, which is more or less at as high as your as if your knee, and machine is just placed over it, not securely fixed by the other machine. You could just place over it, and machine is made perfectly horizontal um, by this um, level checking gauge itself, and kept the machine accordingly, and you have to start work as per our requirement itself. The load I have just told you, these are all standardized weights, 5 to 50, a definite difference between them. You have to apply 1 kg load, one load for 5, and say 5 load for 50 kg. And all are loaded, have load accordingly. This doesn't mean you are applying 50 kg to the workpiece or 5 kg to the workpiece. This is being applied by means of the lever cam mechanism, which is given and provided in the manual itself. Now, the load applied by standardized weight, just I have told you, through a lever having a artificial bearing fulcrums, and a knowledge nip edge floating plunger version. First, the loading system here, as well as bridle and as well as rocker, more or less same. Here, what we everywhere we are doing, the basic system is the load is the load basic system is one of load and levers, weight and levers. The load applied a standardized weights through a plunger section. Standard you have to apply. There is a plunger inside the machine which will actuate the regenerator and make the impression itself according to the load you are applied, and you have to convert it into the required load for the impression. None of the Rockwell or hardness or bridle testing machine are kept loaded by a full amount. Say 500 kg not mean doesn't mean 500 kg, 50 kg doesn't mean 550 kg, but it is the equivalent weight which you are applying over the material itself, so that you will get the same result. If you really want to apply 550 kg or here and 3000 kg in bridle hardness, if you directly apply it, then you may get this type of result. Now, what happens? The duration of a test is controlled by an adjustable electronic timer. Duration of the test is controlled by an adjustable electronic timer itself. I have shown you the timer. The timer will be set above the knob at the left side of the machine, where it can be set from 0 to 30 seconds, not more than that. And generally we set it around 20 to 25 seconds, not more than that. Or you can reduce it further, but if you think. But generally it is supposed to be done around 20 seconds of engagement or doubling period for the workspace itself. Now, all knife edge are hardened, ground and lapped, inspected with high precision instruments that measures accurate test constant all the time. Inside there are different knife edges which I can show because I don't have the picture itself. And they are hardened first, then you have to grind first to the trigger shape, and then sent to you for using it in the machine itself. Just 1 second. Next, I've told you there are 5 weights 5, 10, 20, 30, and 50 kg. I'm telling you again, you have to select this load according to your experience or what the work you are doing there. You cannot select 5 to 50 directly, or from 50 to 5 directly. You have to select 10, 20, 30, then you have to go to 50. So all these stages we are supposed to keep, supposed to maintain, so that inside the machine the loads are either applied to the fulcrum or it is all released from the fulcrum by means of rotating the knob inside itself. So you can start from 5 and end, ultimately finish at 50. And by trial and error, you have to find the what is the maximum load required for your specimen itself. There, what is the magnification of optical measuring device? Total, there is a lens in front that is 1:10, and again 7 times is measured. There is another lens magnifying glass inside the machine, which gives you 70 times of magnification. Means there is a 1 millimeter, you will show it in 7 uh, millimeter size impression itself. But what will happen to, in say we have made an impression of a square of say 2 millimeter 2 millimeter side, not more than that. You have to, it will multiply you by an amount 70 times, means 140 millimeter will be the magnified size, which will be visible in front of the front window. And so the impression which is shown there is magnified impression, and it should be at least 70 times more than the indent itself. So the scales are over the scales. There are not uniformly spaced, but they have spaced accordingly 21 millimeter, 1 centimeter away, and 0.001 millimeter away on the uh, from your vernier of the micrometer itself. So accordingly, you have to measure the thickness. You get the thickness, and you have to tally the thickness. I mean, measure the diagonal distance. You have to measure both the diagonals by just rotating the workpiece accordingly, and you have to measure both of them, and you have to take the average, which is the average length of the indenter itself. Next, you are supposed to go to the you are supposed to go then you are supposed to go to the Rockwell hardness chart, where according to it this will be shown to you. Your hardness will be given to you. Now, what happens here? Dial period I have told you, this is minimum is 0.3 and plus minus 0.2 seconds, but it is not exactly right, because I have increased it up to 20 seconds, not exactly 2. Now 0.3 will be around 1 seconds, and maximum is around 25 to 30 seconds. So this, I have doubt about this impression, the information itself. There are the standard cell blocks. There are standard set blocks, one number HV32, 700 of one number itself. The diamond penetrator, we have the indentation or penetration, whatever you like, it will be given as only one. Just I've told you, hardness machine is designed to carry out Vickers hardness machine against 50, 30, 20, etc. These weights are selected through an indexing weight section knob from the outside. Yes, I've shown you that, and by how knobs will rotate clockwise to increase the load, and it will be load will be released by rotating it anti-clockwise direction itself. An optical device is given here, just shown in front of the table, for protecting the impression from front screen with impression of the from the front screen, along with 70% magnification, which is capable of project 1.2 millimeter impression diameter itself. So in the Rockwell, a optical device is given to calculate the progress of calculate the impression on the front side of the machine, and with 70% or 70% or more magnification is desired, which is capable of project 1.2 millimeter impression maximum. So if the impression is too small, here it is also by means of projecting it higher, you can make 70% magnification of it, So you will get 75 millimeter or 80 millimeter magnification according to design. So if this is much more sensitive machine, much lesser amount of machine can be used here. What we do here, micrometer thimble provided on front screen right side is able to measure the digital of impression with an accuracy of 0.001 millimeter, and it is advised to select the load in relation to expected hardness range of hardness range of metal in such a way that impression produced between be near 0.55 millimeter across the diagonal if possible. So what you have to do, you have got the impression here, you should be clearly visible, and you have to make it visible by adjusting this load carrying platform to a certain extent, totally in your own experience or your friend's experience. You just move up and down, get the perfect impression over the dial itself. Sometimes it may show in spite of all your uh, in fact, in spite of all your best effort, you cannot keep the workpiece just workpiece indent on the workpiece just under the um, magnifying glass. It has moved to a certain extent by the movement of the uh, I mean indenter, or somehow it is moved to a certain extent. So you have to find out by manually what is the point which you have indented. Then you have to push that point under the microscope so that it can give you a proper and clear and bigger impression of the indenter itself. What will be the expected impression should be more or less half millimeter across the diagonal. There is a minimum spatial impression is possible, measuring is possible here. But it is not that everything 001 can be measured here. Also, you have to calculate slightly bigger indentation over the work itself. Now, diamond pyramid hardness test. Before the test, this test area of the specimen should be clear of on all sort of oil, dirt, silts, and the like. So all the impression should not be totally avoided of any sort of rust, any sort of oil, any sort of dirt itself. And you should be thoroughly clean it, but not by means of any cleansing agent, by means of your say clean paper, clean clothes, or clean jute itself. Now, the test area should be even in ground. After months of use, the test area have a impression that it is totally indented in a lot of places. You cannot use it. So you have to make a light surface grinding of the test material itself to make it perfect for the impression for the machine itself. I mean, make it perfect for the impression itself. The test area should be even, ground lower side should be even, and ground so the extension is as well as set on the support itself. What is saying here? Test area should be even, lower side should be even, and ground so the specimen is set clearly on the specimen itself. So somewhere this specimen is not perfectly flat.